Yes?
Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Literally anything about it. I can't remember a single thing.
Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember.
Brief. Yes. That sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Wait, does the briefing say who the victim was?
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
I didn't even know anything about the caller.
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Hold on. And the RCM is?
That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
Let me just make this perfectly clear. Our job here is to find the killer?
That's right.
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Okay, so the case probably isn't mysterious, but could it be sexy?
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was
Cut this boring stuff off immediately. You know what this case is about.
Are you sure there's not some sex angle we should be considering?
Good point. Martinez is famed for its occult sex murder rites. We'll get on it immediately.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
It doesn't have to be a code. It can just be sex murder.
That's commendable. Was there anything else?
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
We're from different precincts. Why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I mean on? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecile cop-off.
Cop off?
It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Ah, so this is a struggle over who runs Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary, somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kills. The rows are endless. Jean Vitmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness. Your brothers have left you.
So you volunteered to spoil it?
Yes, I am an unrepentant spoil sport.
For some reason I thought you had 104 solved cases.
Well, technically, the official record keeper has been known to double count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precinct stats.
So you're still a good cop, right?
I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made this scene into a circus.
What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
I don't know what this says about me. That I was sent by my station.
Clearly, he has already formed his own theory. Tell him. Tell him why it's you. It's all part of the master plan, you see.
Don't be scared. But I think I might have supernatural abilities.
He opens one hand and looks at it. A moment passes.
Which school do you subscribe to? Mambo or Jambo?
Wait, which one is the one where you hear you Thai talk to you?
Mental illness.
I don't have that. I have something cooler. What was that? Mambo and Jambo?
Yes.
I think I might have both Mambo and Jambo. I imagine strange things and get cold chills too.
I didn't know that was even possible. It must be a great burden.
It's both a burden and a gift.
It's good to have an ambidextrous paradetective in a labor dispute. I can see why they sent you. Should we go?
Okay, the competition then. Tell me something else.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now. Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57.
What? No, that can't be right.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
Kim, what if my precinct set me on this case because I'm a fucker? Like, as a joke.
I've considered it.
But it's not true, right?
I don't think I can say one way or another. I do think it's somewhat unlikely, though.
Why is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Do you really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
He's right. There are no airtight theories, just paranoia. You've given it some thought. Now let it go. What if you did it?
Did what? The hangman?
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory. It wasn't that you were horrified. You were just surprised by your own daring. Forgetting was merely a matter of convenience. Very clever. Maybe this is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing. And you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it. Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape. Perhaps you did it for the Union. Your political beliefs gave you the strength and courage to take on such a formidable opponent.
Jim, I think I may be the murderer. Killed the man, and then tricked myself into forgetting about it.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
But it all makes so much sense. It would have been so convenient for me to forget all about the murder and everything else.
Thus far, your memory loss does not seem to be convenient for you or anyone else, except insofar as you've managed to avoid doing any work. Besides, I doubt you could have taken down a hardened mercenary single-handedly.
See? You're clearly not a man in your prime anymore.
Don't take it personally. It's just that security guards kept on by large corporations tend to be better trained and better armed than officers of the RCM.
So you're saying I didn't kill him?
I find that highly unlikely. It's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So let's get back to it, shall we?
I think you should know that I can't remember anything.
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Feel like I must repeat this. I don't remember anything. There was heavy drinking involved.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
What's wrong with personal affairs?
Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
So what should I concentrate on?
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles.
But I'm completely lacking basic information about even this organization we're in. Can you help me?
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
I'm afraid this is a medical situation.
Really? You look fine to me.
I'm talking deep neurological damage here. Saw myself in the mirror, I had no idea who I was.
This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
It's not physiological. Some sort of major brain damage has occurred on an unprecedented scale.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
Nothing.
RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
You sound surprised.
We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all.
The place looks the part. There's graffiti everywhere, and the traffic jam behind you is completely unregulated.
I have some questions for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
Who are you exactly?
Me? I am just a gardener.
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
There's more to you than that.
Is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly does not prove you wrong.
Yes. What are you doing here?
I am working.
Working on what?
I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done.
There's discomfort. She stops mid-sentence. She realizes she's about to criticize your work, or lack thereof.
There's a corpse there keeping you from doing your work.
Yes, it smells pretty bad, so I have to take breaks.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work soon.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale.
It's so late and you're still here.
I'm a night hawk. What can I say?
Odd. There's a little meanness in that smile.
The body's down.
Down? Do you mean the body is finally gone?
Absolutely gone.
No, the body's down on the ground.
Oh, right. Can you tell me when you've taken him away then?
Yeah, keep her in the loop. It's strangely enjoyable to report back on the minute progress you've made, even to strangers. No, do not report back to this random civilian about anything.
We need directions.
Of course. Where to?
Where am I?
What do you mean?
I'm a bit disoriented. This is Reva show, right?
Yes, sir. District of Martinez.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
Do you know where I can find the representative for Wild Pines?
Wild Pines? You mean the company woman?
Yes, a representative of the harbor. She should have set up operations nearby.
Oh, that must be the woman on the giant boat. There's one docked on the pier. It arrived a couple of weeks ago. It's very hard to miss.
She doesn't like that giant boat, nor does she like the woman on it.
You don't like the boat?
I'm okay with it. Was there something else?
She's not okay with it. It's a display of power, and she feels threatened by it. You don't know why.
What is up in the north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really.
Pier, buildings, apartments. You should explore. Maybe scale a wall.
What is in the east?
The harbor gates? Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
What is in the south?
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably.
What is on the other side of the canal?
Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
Rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped on newspapers. Water, water everywhere, pouring from the heavens in the shadow of the old church.
What kind of a fish market is this?
I don't know. The abandoned kind? It used to gather every spring, but there's nothing to do there now. Just drug addicts.
What is in the west?
It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach.
In the west is the miracle.
Thanks, that's all for now.
No problem.
She's very well composed. Back straight.
I have to run.
Of course. I won't hold you back. See you around, officer.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I think I need to talk to the cafeteria manager about my room.
You certainly have been avoiding it.
Real mature, man. What exactly were you trying to accomplish? You do understand you still owe me money, right?
Damn, your feet thought we got away. That doesn't seem fair. You demonstrated some serious skills there, slipping away Sambo style. By the way, Sambo, or Samuran boxing, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samuran Isola. Sambo used to incorporate a wide array of martial disciplines, from archery to mounted combat, but mainly means aesthetically pleasing single combat. Nowadays, Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool.
But you must have appreciated my Sambo style stealth.
Oh, well, if that was Sambo style, then let me wipe that debt, sir. Okay, the stupid drinks are on the house, Mr. Athlete. I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square.
That window was just an unfortunate casualty of me practicing my moves. I won't pay for it.
Fine, I'll take it off the bill. Sleep in a post-apocalyptic hellhole if you want to. Just know I won't give you another room.
So we're cool?
Not entirely cool. You still owe me 60 real for 3 nights stay. If you don't have it by tonight, I can't let you back up there. Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here.
I need a drink. Can you pour me one?
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker?
He sounds irritated. And it's not a shaker. It's nothing. He's holding nothing.
You sound irritated. Why? I want is a drink.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why?
Because you're not a bartender?
That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that. Is there anything else?
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is that so hard to understand? Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
I'm an alcohol-operated detective. If you want me to clean up the dead body and solve that case, then you need to insert alcohol into my mouth.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple?
You do not want to taunt me. Not when it comes to marinellas.
Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do and broken things to fix. If that was all, I'd like to return to it.
Goodbye.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
Do I even have one?
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Up on Marvel Hill?
Why did you say that?
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, do you know a place called Marvel Hill?
No. But isn't that an expression, not a place?
An expression?
A saying. Up on Marvel Hill, a great high place. One that is impossible to climb back to.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
I live in a dumpster, I don't care. Fuck everything, Hobocop.
Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe being a hobo and a cop has its advantages.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet.
You should take care of that, then.
But I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do.
Can I help you?
So, about the money hole.
Yes. Have you got it?
I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Just call it out. I'll freeze to death because I'm losing the stupid money game.
Game? Everything is just a game to you, isn't it?
Hold on. I still have my key, you know.
Good luck trying to use it.
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock.
I'll find a way in. I'll break the door down.
Oh, wonderful. Try to do that. I'll have to call you an ambulance.
This conversation is going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Goodbye.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
What are those things?
There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
A vanity he wouldn't mind. Honestly, that sounds like an amazing physics demonstration.
What do you mean you confiscated them?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
I get it. I would have confiscated them too. They're mesmerizing.
That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Did you want to put these spinners on your machine?
No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cup with spinners. That would be outrageous.
Yes, outrageously cool.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
I'm sorry you have to sell them because of me.
As I said, they are useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier.
But thank you.
You said something about a pawn shop?
Yes, there's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's called Roy's Nest or something. If I'm not mistaken, it should be open late.
Thanks. I appreciate your help.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector. just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection. I may have something to add to it.
It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
There's something I'd like to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop. Gone forever.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you. Here's the 60 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I'd like to sell my clothes.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. And especially that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparkle in the light of the projector!
I have a fascinating photo of a corpse here.
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale.
Do you know what the tattoos mean?
Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Sell me something lighter.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
I don't have anything to sell at the moment.
Another time, perhaps.
I have other business to take care of now.
Can I help you?
So about the money, oh,
Yes. Have you got it?
I have your money.
Well?
I hope you choke on it.
Great. Perfect. I hope you enjoy your freezing cold room with the window you broke yourself.
You've really worn down his patience. Even paying him didn't help.
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, please pay for each night in advance. 20 real per night. If you don't have the money, it's over for you. Got it? You've got nowhere else to stay.
I'll take a room here too.
Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Goodbye.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
Am I a smoker?
Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously.
But you broke it out of the filter. I can smoke that.
How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that, a carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish tie feels very snug.
Like a cat rubbing itself against its owner's calves. A cat that wants you to smoke a lot. Or you could not do that. No one is making you.
I should enthusiastically do that.
Good. They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now. But find cigarettes, smoke them, blam. Instantly a cool renegade man. A mystical red dragon with smoke rising from his nostrils. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses. This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk.
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I think I might want to pick up smoking. Do you have any more cigarettes?
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes.
Below, the city trembles with its remaining lights. People are rushing home, running away from home, smoking, sleeping, singing in the shower. Edges of dining tables, hands, aprons flicker through windows before the lights go out.
How'd you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all.
Right then, the debrief.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
We performed a thorough initial inspection of the victim's body, so that's good. One could say it's the main thing to do in a murder. Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot.
I was inspired by your confidence in me, Kim.
I admit I wasn't sure whether I should give you the gun, but I'm glad I did. Your shot enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. Moreover, you found that the hanged man wasn't just hanged, he was also shot. That was some excellent detective work. And you managed to locate and pull out the bullet, so we can get ballistics, make off the gun. All this is invaluable.
Yeah, I'm a professional.
Unfortunately, the body is still decomposing in the yard. We should take care of that as soon as possible. We did perform a thorough search of the crime scene. That's great. Now for the interviews.
I love doing interviews and people love me. They love bathing in my glory.
I hope your confidence will translate into results, officer. We weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him, so that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that tomorrow. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast. The rest has to try to keep up.
Alright, and forgive me, this has been bothering me since this morning. How have you managed to run around all day wearing only one shoe?
I couldn't find my other shoe, and I refuse to wear shoes that aren't as cool as the shoe I'm wearing.
Well, there seems to be a shoe that is a match to the one you're wearing further down the balcony. Perhaps you can collect it when we're done talking.
He's right. There it is, green and shiny under the glowing whirling window. The sky above is dark and the lights sparkle.
Imagine how much faster you could run wearing a cool patent leather shoe on each foot.
So, what are our powers exactly? The RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
I see. And if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability, perhaps even impossibility.
Of course you've killed people. It's somewhere down there, melting in all the drink.
I must have. I feel it in me.
Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence.
He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging the difficulty of working in your precinct.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on. He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event. There is a slight physical revulsion in him while saying that, but he's worked through it in the intervening years.
So, wait. So if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
And who makes all these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Let's say it was the coalition government.
It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Or if they think you do.
The moral intern. What is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Who was the warrior's day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why.
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the moral intern?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
Immigrants, liberal kids. Fucking men are turning into women.
Well phrased. I understand answering to foreign powers doesn't sit well with immigrant bashing. But without the EMI, we would be common vigilantes. That's just the way it is.
Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. Two glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
And in Jamrock and the GRH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Night. Captain Ptolemy Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by the motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead. The sky is black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat as he mounts the horse to head home. Rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Around him, the streets are silent. A kid on the corner waves at the captain as he takes the turn on Petition and Main. The horse neighs. The captain nods back. Thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful.
We won't change anything here.
Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
Vows?
The vows are blood and flesh.
What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachel's problems?
Foreigners?
Yes, them, but also women.
Women?
Women, men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place.
But I'm a feminist.
Feminists? No, it can't be. Not you. No one believes this.
Am I having some kind of stomach seizure?
Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth.
Why am I getting this?
Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times.
Fascism sounds so bad though. What if you called it something else, like, traditionalism?
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that.
Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism.
You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
I'll keep my views for the glory of Revacholian nation.
For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach.
No, fascism about industry and politics and nationhood, not women. Absolutely okay with women.
Of course you are, Bruta. Of course. A wink-shaped growl sounds from your ass. There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet, like two baby crocodiles.
Wait, these do not look like normal cop shoes.
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. You may be what they call a big dick cop.
How do they fit?
Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.